Yo, what is good, guys? It is your boy OJ the Demon. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys who sit down and watch my videos, like genuinely. So if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to drop a like on the video. I really appreciate you guys. So for today's video, we're gonna be talking about the infamous Ezekiel Kelly. Now, if you don't know Ezekiel Kelly, he's a guy who went on a killing spree at random in Memphis. Worldwide, it was a pretty big thing. It happened back in September of 2020, so it happened roughly around 5 months ago. I remember back then seeing this all over the news, and it's absolutely insane. A guy literally just decided to gun people down at random and broadcast it live to social media for the entire world to see. Probably one of the most craziest shootings in 2020. I believe YouTube is taking down videos if it contains any of the Instagram live in it. So disclaimer, I won't have any of the live in it. Of course, some footage of the live is floating around somewhere on the internet, so feel free to go watch for yourself. It was pretty crazy. Best friends and business partners Marcus Cash and Dwayne Tunstall was starting a new business called Everybody Eats, where they basically give back to their communities. A food truck where they sell food and give away free food to the homeless, which actually sounds like a very wholesome and smart business idea. Now, sadly, they were never able to start this business. On the 6th of September of 2022, Marcus and Dwayne hosted a small get-together with a couple family and friends, you know, like a business opening party. Everyone was having a great time. They laughed, drunk, and tested out the food. Everything was going good. Around 12:30 a.m., the celebrity Ezekiel Kelly pulled up. Marcus knew 19-year-old Ezekiel Kelly, but Ezekiel was Dwayne's friend. But of course, Marcus and Dwayne were business partners, right? They're not gonna question every single member who attends this small gathering. They were just excited to open this business. So of course, just like everyone else there, they welcomed him with open arms. But little did they know, they just welcomed a demon to the party. Everything started off just fine. Ezekiel grabbed a plate to eat. He was enjoying the food just like everyone else. All of a sudden, he wanted to speak to Dwayne in private. According to witnesses, what happened next was truly unbelievable. He produced a firearm seemingly out of random and shot Dwayne several times in the head. Now, his motive is currently unknown, but possibly whatever that conversation was about led to what tragically took place that night.
Filled with emotion, Marcus Cash is still trying to come to terms with the loss of his friend and business partner, 24-year-old Dwayne Tunstall. Tunstall was killed outside Cash's home on Lindell Avenue in Mitchell Heights early Wednesday morning. Memphis police say it's believed he is Ezekiel Kelly's first victim. He and Tunstall were preparing to open their barbecue food truck business. He says they spent 3 days building the trailer themselves.
We were vegetarian. We even had vegan. Like, we had food for it, like everybody.
Cash says that night they cooked and invited friends over to enjoy. Kelly was one of them.
Why did he come over?
To buy food. You know, we served him food. It's like he was being supportive, but how you be supportive and do that?
Court documents say Kelly pulled Tunstall to the side, and at some point during the conversation, he shot Tunstall several times in the head before leaving.
Ezekiel fled the scene. That was his first victim. There were many witnesses, and they knew who he was. So for Ezekiel, the time was ticking. He's now on the run, facing murder charges, probably life in prison as well. We don't exactly know what he did in between Dwayne and his next unsuspecting victim, but he obviously knew he was going to be in a lot of trouble, so I assume he was hiding somewhere, but obviously definitely not at his house. That would just be ridiculous. But at 4:38 p.m. the same day, Ezekiel was about to wreak havoc and negatively affect many people's life, not only shocking the Memphis community he disturbed, but really the entire world. Roughly 8 miles away from the original shooting at a BP gas station, police reports say multiple shots rang off. Police arrived to the scene. They saw 62-year-old Richard Clark was pronounced dead on scene. Now, due to the investigations being relatively fresh, we don't exactly know what led up to this or the specific injuries the victim suffered. All we know, it was by a gun and he died from it. So far, he opened fire at a small get-together, killing his friend, fleeing the scene, and killing an old man at a gas station for seemingly no reason. From here, 2 miles away, on the side of the road was 44-year-old LaCleisha McGladden. She was in the car with her father father. All of a sudden, her tire went flat, so they had to stop on the side of the road, where they would unfortunately cross paths with Ezekiel Kelly. But Lakeisha remembers him different. She remembers him being super nice and polite. He pulled up and asked her for directions. He said he wasn't from the area, so of course, as the nice person she is, she helped him. Unfortunately, sometimes in life, there are just bad people. You can literally help them and they'll still stab you in the back. When she told him the directions, she said his facial expression completely changed from a smile to an empty stare. He again whipped out his firearm and blasted 3 times in Lakeisha's direction. He had just opened fire on an innocent woman for no reason. Then he aimed his gun at Lakeisha's father, getting ready to shoot him as well, but he mistaken a carjack as a gun, which is crazy on its own. I don't know how you mistake a carjack for a gun, but I think this really shows the mindset he was in at the time. Very, very paranoid it seems. So he sped off quickly thinking it was a gun. Her father was very lucky. Lakeisha was too. She had only been hit once in the leg. They quickly called 911 and she made a full recovery, but till this day she believes that he was demon possessed. She saw it in his eyes.
Raised his gun to fire.
He seemed like he was pleasant. He was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me how to get to Whitehaven?"
They had pulled over to fix a flat tire when a young man pulled up asking for help. After giving directions, she says his demeanor quickly changed.
By the time I looked back around at him, that's when I saw the gun pointed at me, and he popped off 3 shots.
One bullet ripped through McLaughlin's right thigh, sending her into hysteria. Her father, Willie, also in a panic, called 911.
When I heard the shots, I stood straight up. And I looked right at him, he looked at me. He thought I had a gun too in my hand, but it was the tire iron jack that I had. That's what made him go.
Looking into the gunman's eyes, he believes he saw pure evil.
He was demon possessed. I saw it on his face.
Roughly an hour after that shooting, he pulled up to an AutoZone on Jackson Avenue. Unfortunately, he wasn't there to purchase anything. Instead, he just wanted to spread more bloodshed. And this particular killing, he filmed on Facebook Live. Now again, like I said, I will not be playing it at all. I'm not trying to get this video clapped, but you guys can go check it out yourself. I mean, it's pretty sad. The man was identified to be Rodolfo Ruby Berter. Sorry if I butchered his name. As we can see, he seemed to be a happy old man, but he unfortunately fell victim to Ezekiel Kelly. It seemed to be a case of wrong place, wrong time. Miraculously though, he survived after undergoing 3 surgeries. He seems to be on a very good road to recovery. So far, 3 different incidences. At this point, police know who it is, and police know that these 3 incidences were connected, but they still didn't have him in custody. With more alarming social media posts from Ezekiel, yeah, he was kinda taunting law enforcement. Police decided to lock the city of Memphis down. Police now knew they had a spree killer on their hands. The time is still ticking though. Ezekiel Kelly was armed and dangerous. The public is terrified. The world is terrified. The hunt continued. 2 hours went by and Ezekiel continued to open fire at people at random. At 7:23, Ezekiel crashed his car. This would have actually been the perfect time to call the police, but no one knew he was wanted at the time. Nurse Allison Parker sprinted over to help Ezekiel. What a great thing to do. I mean, she is a nurse. This is what she does. She got close to the car and opened the door. In return, she was met with bullets, shooting Allison multiple times before stealing her car. The sad part about it, it took place in front of her daughter. She died doing what she loved, helping people. Very unfortunate that she fell victim to Ezekiel Kelly. After he stole the car, he went on to shoot a man in a leg. He drove across the city to the line where it meets Mississippi. He once again crashed his car, so he stole someone else's car. This time though, he let the victim live. Now I have no idea why he let this particular person live. His actions are very unpredictable, as we can see, so who knows. He drove back into Memphis. Now the city was on lockdown, so not many people were out. So when police saw a car driving spontaneously, they knew they now had their guy. A chase ensued. It didn't last long though, and he eventually gave up. Police said that he didn't put up much of a fight either. Everything from that chaotic day is still a blur, so there's some details we don't even know yet, especially my biggest concern, why he won't talk to police and he pled not guilty. It's pretty insane. RIP to every victim. Let me know what you guys want to see for my next video. Let me know what you guys thought about today's video in the comments. I love you guys. It has been your boy OJ the Demon, and I'm out.